Hello and welcome. I hope that you are all doing well today. Thank you so much for joining me here today to create. If you watched the My Mechanical Romance book review, you know what we are doing here today. I had a prompt to make something, I had a prompt to create a piece of jewelry inspired by that book. And if you watched the video, you know that I made this bracelet. So today we're going to go through how I made the bracelet. So here are some of the supplies I used. I have yarn, I have a ruler, I have some beads, I have a crochet hook, scissors, some binder clips. The first thing you're going to want to do is measure your wrist, or if you're making a choker, measure your neck so you know what size you're trying to make it. I think the easiest way to do this is to just cut a piece of yarn, wrap it around your wrist, so from there to there is the size I need. Then we'll measure that. I'm working in inches, you can also work in centimeters. So I need mine to be at least 6 3/4 inches long. To make the wrap bracelet that I made it to 28 inches. So I used the yarn, but I thought that this yarn was too thick. I wanted it thinner. So I twisted and separated into 2 sets of 2. This is kind of a long process, but you just twist it, keep separating, let those untwist so that they don't end up tangled together, and just keep doing that till you have the size you need. When I was done, I wound it all up and put it on a little piece of cardboard just to keep it under control. And next you want to get the beads on. So choose the beads you're going to use. And you want to make sure that the hole is the right size so it'll go on the yarn that you have. You can put it on either just by twisting it and putting it on, or with the help of a needle. I have a tapestry needle here. So I'm just going to bead it on. And you want to get all the beads that you're going to use on your bracelet on here already. So I've put 8 on there. I don't know if I'm going to use all 8, but then I don't have to worry about trying to get them on again later. You want to choose the correct size crochet hook. And you just want a crochet hook where the thread fits in the little hook part. So it can be a little bigger than that if you want. If you do it bigger, it's going to have a bigger stitch. If you do it smaller, it's going to have a tighter stitch. So let's get started. And I like to use the binder hooks. If I'm crocheting at any point and I need to just stop, I can clip it on. I'm going to get rid of some of these because I don't need that many. I don't need the scissors right now. I'm going to take the needle on. I bring it in a little closer so we can get started. So I like to leave a couple inches as a starter. So I'm not going to start till right there. Make a circle. Bring this piece of the yarn through, and you're basically just making a slip knot. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So because I already have the wrap bracelet, this time I'm going to just make a single bracelet. So I'm just going to get started crocheting. So this end I can just hang on to make sure that I am, this end, the tail I can hang on to secure, and I'm just going to start making the stitches. So you get the thread in the hook, twist it and pull it through. And just make it as big as you want. And then twist and pull through, and you want to try to make your stitches a uniform size. So you just keep going. And sometimes it falls off, then you just put it back on and do it again. Getting all distracted, so I'm going to try to concentrate on what I'm doing. And I personally don't usually start putting the beads on till I know it's going to be around the front. If you wanted to start putting them on earlier than that, you can. So this one, if I put a bead on now, it's going to sit on the side of my wrist. That's a good place. So you just slide the bead up that you're going to use, and you pull the yarn through, so the stitch is going to secure your bead in place. So let's just do it where we do like 4 more stitches and then another bead. The crochet hook that I'm using is made of a plastic, so it's not the slipperiest. So I personally think that the metal crochet hooks are better. They're just easier to work with. It's a smoother process. Let's slide up another bead. And continue. And you can stop and check how long it is. We're getting pretty close to what would be the end. So let's do, instead of a single, let's try maybe a double. Now, if you wanted at any point, you can put it around your wrist to see how you're doing. So remember, that's about the back. So I'm over 1 time around. This time I'm going to go I can hear a squirrel. So I'm not going to put as many beads on this time around. And let's check where it is again. Gone around once. Most of the way, we've got about another half to do. So I'm going to use one of the final beads to make my clasp. So it was 6 3/4, so we want to go 13 1/4, I believe. So we're at just about 12 inches now. Let me measure one more time. And because I am measuring this time, I'm going to use that binder clip to hold that there so I know it won't unravel. And let's just go around. 1. Yeah, I think we're almost to the end. Maybe one more stitch and then we'll put the bead on. So here we go. And we're gonna affix the bead the same way we have all the other times. And yes, I know I didn't use all the beads that I had set aside, but that's okay. Because when I cut the yarn, I'll just be able to take the beads off and put them back in the case. So I'm going to go that way. And then I'm just going to take my thread and put it back in under one of the knots I just made. So get it in there. I've got 2 strands. Pull it through that one. Oh, I'm going to pull it through both of them. And then go up one more. Do the same thing. That's just going to help secure it. I'm going to bring it together out here. One more. And I'm going to pull it through longer. And now I'm going to cut off that thread. I'm going to pull that all the way through. Squeeze that last one to tighten it. This is going to help give me a grip for when I am tying on my bracelet. So you can either tie it on, or you can make another knot at the end there. Kind of measure the size that your bead is so it's not too tight and not too loose. We're going to go back here. We're going to tie that knot there. Pull it back. I'm going to make sure that that goes on there, and it does. I'm going to cut off that end. I'm going to make one more knot just to secure it. Cut off that end. Put that on. And there we have a 2-strand wrap bracelet. So to make the bracelet, basically you're measuring your wrist, adding on a little bit for the closure, the clasp, multiplying it by how many times you want it to go around. So if you have a 7-inch wrist and you want it to go around 3 times, you're going to do 21 inches, but then you're going to put a couple inches on each side to make the way to secure it. And that's it. Easy bracelet. If you wanted to do a choker, you'd measure your neck and multiply it for how many times you want it to go around and take care of it that way. Same process, just a little different size. I'm going to get the beads back in the bead box along with the needle. And there you are. Easy bracelet. If you wanted to make a bracelet but you don't have access to the crochet hook, you could just do it by braiding it. Same process. You'd put the beads on, slide the beads on, do the braid, and then stop when it's the length that you want it. So make sure you're just measuring your wrist to get the right length, going as far as you need to go, leaving a little bit extra to account for the way you're going to close it, and then you can make your bracelet. I hope that you enjoyed this bracelet project. I will be back with the book review for either anxious people or Vampire Academy very soon. I hope you'll join me then, and until then, I hope that you continue to use your curiosity to explore the world and your creativity to improve it. And thank you!